Hi. Thank you for attending today's reading. Let's begin. I'm going to lie about my availability so people at work leave me the fuck alone. Update. I got called in. Again. This means for the past month I've picked up one shift per week at least. I got no time whatsoever after. I quit the other job to relax and collect myself. I told my boss that I'd cover this one today. But starting next week I'm no longer available. If I get asked, I'm going to try and keep it short and concise and just say, I'm not available, even if I have to repeat those 3 words over and over with no additional explanation. He did say he was looking to hire another person and he put out an ad. So I hope he heard me this time. Let's see if he can actually find someone. I had 2 jobs. I quit one because it was awful and so I could focus on other goals. The instant my other job learned I quit the other job, they suddenly feel entitled to schedule me wherever they want. One coworker harasses me daily about taking her shifts now that I'm not working 2 jobs. Bitch. I didn't quit my other job to help you, I did it to help me, so leave me the fuck alone. I tried telling them that I'm not available. But they don't seem to hear that. Why do people feel so entitled to decide how you should spend your free time? If I don't want to pick up a shift so I can sleep in, exercise, whatever, that's my fucking prerogative. I tried being straightforward. It didn't work. Now, I lie. Effective immediately. I'll be training on Sundays and babysitting for a desperate family on Mondays. That means I'm only available to work my regularly scheduled days. Fuck off, people. Get your own schedules, lives, etc. prioritized and figured out, and stop harassing and guilt-tripping coworkers into taking your shifts. End of story. Next story. I shit in the shower and missed my first exam in grade 9 because it took me 45 minutes to unclog it. Yeah. End of story. Next story. I lied to my wife. Today I lied to my wife. It all started so innocently. I was getting my hair cut. It was a quiet day in the salon. Only 2 stylists on duty. While I was tuning out my stylist telling me the amazing work Joe Biden has done on the vaccine, I secretly eavesdropped on the man in the chair next to me. He was crushing hard on his stylist and telling her how beautiful she was. It was very cringy. A while later, she finished his hair, and he paid and left. He returned a few moments later with a small, sealed, brown paper bag from the Nothing Bundt Cakes next door and gave it to his betrothed. Before finally leaving for good. Once he left, the 2 stylists roasted this creep and asked if I had a girlfriend. I told him of my lovely, pregnant wife Kayla, and they gave me the mysterious gift. When I got home, Kayla was outside, unloading groceries from her car. When I walked up to greet her, she noticed the bag. "Did you get something for me?" she squealed with delight. I simply smiled and nodded, all while hiding the truth. It was easy for me. I basked in the glory of being a thoughtful husband. She kissed my cheek and told me she was so surprised. She opened the bag and peeked inside. "Lemon. My favorite flavor," she said. At this very moment I still don't know what is in the bag. Now I sit on the porch, drinking a draft Coors Light while she slaves away in the kitchen, rewarding me for my thoughtfulness. It was nice knowing you all. But I know my place is now in hell. End of story. Next story. I miss the days where there was no social media. I feel like social media is what is wrong with our society today. It's created this unhealthy hive mind, and I feel like I'm back in high school sometimes. It's just one of the most immature aspects of our society, I think. End of story. Next story. Can I see your ID, please? I work at a beer store. We sell beer exclusively in Ontario. Part of my job is to check IDs of suspected minors to make sure they are legal age. Sometimes I ask women who are clearly well above 19, legal age in Ontario, for their ID. I only do this so they feel flattered tbh. It's a good feeling watching them giggle and say, "My friends are gonna be jealous." Or, "You just made my night," with a huge smile on their face. Kind of makes me feel good too, knowing their night got better because of something so simple. End of story. Next story. I am none of my best friends a Euro best friend. And it makes me pretty sad to see them super close with somebody else. While they were the closest friends I have. Whenever they mention how close they are and how much they are grateful for each other, I often feel left out. And to add to that, I feel ashamed for having such thoughts. Sounds petty and childish. Another part of me is sad because, being an adult, I doubt I could find such friendships anymore. The thought of me potentially never be able to experience what they have now in my entire life makes me even more miserable. End of story. Next story. I think all the rioting in Minneapolis is 100% necessary following the death of George Floyd. I get really annoyed when people say that there's a better way to deal with events such as these. But I don't see many being brought up. People are frustrated and I truly believe this is their way of getting their point across. I normally don't root for violence. But I think people are being left with very few options to make someone listen to them. I'm sorry for the businesses that are being destroyed. Because I know you did not take part in the death of George Floyd. I'm sorry for everyone who is being oppressed. From the past, present and future. I'm sorry to everyone affected. You don't deserve this. I'm sorry many are afraid of the people who swore to protect the community. I'm sorry that many have left their homes and face the dangers of rioting. I'm sorry my words are meaningless. But no, I am hurting for you. And how outraged many of us are. I'm sorry that all I can do is send my love to you and hope you'll get the justice you need and deserve. I'm sorry. Edit I. Thank you kind strangers for the gold. Edit 2. Thanks to everyone who shared their opinions because I think it's important to look at it from various POVs. Edit 3. If I offended anyone, please know that was never my intention. I hope you all stay safe and healthy. End of story. Next story. I own a house and people don't know, except some family members. I bought a house at a young age. But many of my friends think I rent. But in reality, I am the owner. I decided to lie for 2 reasons. 1, I didn't want people to say, "Hey, you have a spare room. Can I live with you?" Or 2, "Wow. Can I borrow some money?" Yes. I have spare rooms. And able to rent rooms to people. But to reduce the hassle, I rather just say I rent and the landlord only wants me as a tenant. End of story. That is all for today. If you want to support my automated channel, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. See you tomorrow.